Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 2463, minimum total distance traveled. This is a reasonably hard problem and next I will show you how to solve it step by step. This is a very long description. You can read it if you want, but basically we have a line with robots and factories. These robots are broken initially and we need to repair them with factories. So every position in robot corresponds to the position of some robot. Here we have 3 at position 0, 4 and 6. And every value in factory has an array with 2 elements. The first one is the position of the factory. The second one is its limit. For example, this factory can repair 2 robots as a maximum. Now these robots can move either left or right and they don't collide. So if we move right with this one and we move left with this one, let's say that we don't have this factory, they won't collide, they just cross each other. So here we need to repair these 3 robots with these 2 factories. So we can move right with this one and we reach factory at position 2 in 2 steps. So the result is 2. And now the limit of this factory decreases by 1. Next we can move left with this robot and we are 2 steps away from factory at position 2. So we add 2 to the result and this is 4. And this limit decreases by 1 again. So this factory is no longer available. Next we have this robot which is right on top of this factory and the limit is 2, so we can use it. Now the limit is 1 and we are 0 steps away from this factory, so we add 0 to the result and the final result is 4. So this is the minimum total distance traveled by all robots in order to repair them. And this is very important. Test cases are generated such that all robots can be repaired. Now we can explore different scenarios. For example, another way to solve this is we could move right with this robot and reach factory at position 2 in 2 steps. Then we could move right with this robot also and reach factory at position 6 in 2 steps. And well, here we are right above a factory, so we add 0. The result here would be 4 also. So this is just another way to solve this. Let's say that we are looking at this robot and we don't know what's next. We only know that we have to repair this and we have 2 factories available. My first intuition was to sort both arrays. Why? Well, because after sorting we can see everything in order and it's easier to match robots with the closest available factories. Let's say that we use an I pointer for robots and a j pointer for factories. We start from 0, 0. So this is I, this is j, and we have 2 choices here. We have to repair this robot. So regarding this factory, we can either take it or not take it and continue. If we take the factory, meaning we use this to repair this robot, next we can move to the next robot. So I is 1, and maybe we can move to the next factory. Why do I say maybe? Well, because remember that every factory has a limit. In this case, the limit is 2. So if we use it to repair this robot, the limit decreases by 1. But this is still available. So we are missing something here. We should keep track of something else. And the key here is that we can keep track of the count or the limit of the factory that we are seeing at index j. Here the limit is 2, so the initial limit is 2. Now, if we decide to use this factory to repair this robot, we are looking at this scenario. So we can say that I is 1. We are looking at the next robot. The factory stays the same because this is still available, and the new limit is 2 minus 1, 1. Now, if we decide to not take this factory, the robot stays the same because we still have to repair this, so I is 0. And we are moving to the next factory, so this is 1 and the new limit corresponds to the limit of the new factory, in this case 2. Next, if we are looking at this scenario, we are looking at this robot, factory at index 0, meaning this one, and the limit is 1, meaning the limit of this factory right now is 1. So we have two choices again. We can either take the factory or not take it. If we take the factory, we have to move to the next robot, so I is 2, and given that the limit is 1 and we are using the factory once again, the new limit is 0. This means that we need to update Shay to the next index. So Shay is 1 and the new limit corresponds to factories at index 1. So we are looking at this limit, which is 2. If we don't take the factory, the robot stays the same because we still have to repair it, and the index for factory is 1 and the limit corresponds to factory at index 1. Here it's 2. Going back to this scenario, if we decide to not take this factory to repair this robot, this is the next scenario. The robot is still 0, the factory is 1, and the limit of this factory is 2. And from here we have two choices again. We can decide to take or not take the factory. And now I think that you get the idea. We are using the results of small subproblems to solve larger subproblems. This is the definition of dynamic programming. And there are different ways to solve this. You could use a recursive DP or an iterative DP. Why? Well, because here we have the constraints. We know that the amount of robots and factories can be up to 100, and the limit for each factory can be up to 100 also. So here in the worst case, we have 100 robots times 100 factories times 100 if we use 100 as a limit for every factory. And this is a reasonably small number, which we can handle with these two approaches. Now here I will show you how to remove this variable and implement an iterative DP approach, which is overall more efficient. The key here is that we can flatten this array. Instead of keeping track of the limit of each factory, we can keep track of slots. So we have a 1D array where we are adding this amount of slots at position 2. So here we add 2, 2. Next we are here and we need to add 2 slots for position 6. So we add 6, 6. So now we can forget about this variable. We don't care about factories anymore, we only care about slots. So we are with this robot and we can either take or not take this slot. If we decide to take it, next we move to robot number 1 and to slot number 1. If we decide to not take the slot, the robot stays the same because we still have to repair this, and we move to the next slot. This is 1. Next, from each of these scenarios, we have 2 choices and so on. So now let's see a dry run. Let's say that we have this DP grid. We are using I for robots and Shay for slots. Every value at row 0 is 0. Why? Well, because the minimum distance to repair 0 robots with 0 slots is 0. The minimum distance to repair 0 robots with any amount of slots is 0. Regarding these values, the minimum distance to repair any amount of robots greater than 0 with 0 available slots is infinity. We can't repair them. Next we are here, and remember that we have 2 choices always. We can either take the slot or not take it. If we don't take it, we can take the accumulated value before looking at this slot. So we are looking at this column and the same robot because we are not taking the slot. So the result here is infinity. Now what if we decide to take the first slot with the first robot? First we can take the accumulated value where we didn't have this robot and this slot. This was 0. We are looking at this diagonal. So we do 0 plus the corresponding distance for repairing this robot with this slot. And for this we have these 2 arrays. We take the absolute difference of slots at 1 minus 0 because these are counts and these are 0 indexed arrays. So we are looking at the first slot, which corresponds to index 0. Here we have a 2 minus the value for the first robot, which is at 1 minus 1. So we are looking at this index. This is 0, 2 minus 0 is 2, 0 plus 2 is 2, so the result here is 2. And the minimum between these two elements is 2, so we replace this with 2. Now we are at this scenario. We can use up to 2 slots to repair one robot. So what if we don't take the slot? Well, in this case, we can go to the previous scenario where this slot was not available, and here we have a 2. And what if we decide to take the slot? Well, now we can look at the diagonal where we didn't have this robot and we didn't have this new slot, so this value was 0, plus the absolute difference of slots at index 2 minus 1, we are looking at the second slot, minus the current robot minus 1. Robots at 0 is 0, 2 minus 0 is 2, 2 plus 0 is 2. And the minimum between 2 and 2 is 2, so here we put 2. So these are the final results when we have to repair only one robot. What if we have to repair 2? Well, if we have 0 slots available, the result is infinity. We will never be able to repair the 2 robots. If we have 1 slot available, but we have to repair 2 robots, the result is also infinity. Now, what if we have 2 slots available and we have to repair 2 robots? If we don't take the current slot, we can use the accumulated value, so we look to the left and this is positive infinity. If we decide to take this slot, we can take the accumulated value before this robot and before this slot, so we are looking at this diagonal, the number was 2, and we can add the absolute difference of slots at index 2 minus 1 minus robots at index 2 minus 1. And 2 minus 4, the absolute difference is 2 plus 2, the result is 4. And the minimum between 4 and positive infinity is 4, so here we put 4. If we fill the rest of the row, we get this, and now we are looking at 3 robots. If the number of slots is smaller than the number of robots, there's no way to repair them all, so the results are infinity. If we do the same with the 2 cells, we get 4 and 4. So where do we have the minimum total distance to repair 3 robots using at most 4 slots? Well, we have it here, so we return 4 in this case. Time complexity here is big O of the amount of robots times the amount of slots. The slots are given by the sum of the limits of the factories, okay? And space complexity is the same because we are using this DP grid. So with this in mind, let's see how to code this up. First, we need to sort robots and factories. So robot.sort, factory.sort. We need an array for slots. This is empty, and we need to fill this array. So for every position and limit in factory, we can say slots plus equal, and here we can take an array with the current position times the limit. So here we are building an array of size limit, and then we can concatenate this with slots like this in Python. So now we can say that n and m are the length of robot and the length of slots, and we can build our DP grid. This is an array which includes an array with positive infinity times n plus 1, and we want this for every index in range n plus 1. Now we need to fill the first row. Remember the drawing, so we can say that for j in range n plus 1, every time dp at row 0 column j is equal to 0. And now we can iterate the rest of the grid. So for I in range, and every time we go from 1 to n plus 1, and for j in range from 1 to n plus 1. dpij is equal to the minimum among 2 possible scenarios. Remember that we can either take the slot or skip the slot. What if we skip the slot? Well, we can take the accumulated value at dpij minus 1, where we didn't have the current slot. And just to be clear, in this case, we skip slot. Now, what if we take the slot? Well, we can take the accumulated value where we didn't have the current robot and we didn't have the current slot, plus the distance for using the current slot with the current robot. Here we take the absolute difference of robot I minus 1 minus slot j minus 1. Remember that the arrays are 0 indexed, and here in this DP we are working with counts, so we need to subtract 1 from each of these indices. This is very important. Just to be clear, here we take slot. And after doing this, down here we can just return DP at the last cell, minus 1, minus 1. So this is the entire code. Let's submit this and see if it works. Here I'm missing the letter S, so let's fix this and try again. As you can see, this works and it's efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.